Happy 4th of July. So I have the schedule over here. So what we're going to do today, no mats today, we'll be in chairs. We're going to start with a review, and then we're going to do a sitting practice a little bit longer than we've done before. And then do a written inquiry like we've done before. That's why you have the clipboards at your chair. And then we'll go over that written inquiry, and we'll share as a group and hear what everybody has to say. Then we'll take our break, and then we're going to check in on the homework. And then look at the unpleasant events calendar, and then talk about stress. So we have a lot of new stuff to talk about today. So get into some more discussion about stress.
Okay. So, so kind of went over the schedule. We're going to start with the sitting practice. Every practice that we introduce now from week to week in some ways builds on everything that you've been doing so far. So we're going to add some new things in the practice tonight. We'll be sitting with awareness of breath in the body. We'll be bringing attention to the body in a little bit of some different ways than we've been doing, say with the body scan. During this practice, it's true during any practice that we do in here, if at any time any of the experience of bringing attention to the body becomes too unpleasant, becomes too uncomfortable, it's always possible at any time to just redirect the attention back to the breath, okay? But during this practice tonight, right, because you're going to be asked to direct attention to the body in some specific ways, right? What you'll be asked to do is to, if it becomes unpleasant or if it becomes uncomfortable, to bring attention to the body, to just notice that that's what's happening. Oh, in this moment, this is uncomfortable, right? And even just for a moment, let it be uncomfortable, just as it is. Let that moment be just as it is. And then if it's too much, just turn the attention back to the breath, okay? Like, don't just stay and just be uncomfortable, okay? So at any time, again, this is a practice of self-awareness and self-care. So always let your own wisdom override any of my instructions. So for our sitting practice tonight, if you care to, we're going to start with sitting posture, just as we've worked with in the past, and adopting a posture that allows you to feel some degree of alertness and maybe some degree of kind of uplift, but in a way that you're also feeling somewhat relaxed and comfortable and supported. So you're not straining and struggling to sit up, right? So you just want to find a way to sit that doesn't feel like you're going to fall into sleepiness. And so sitting in this posture that, again, sort of indicates our intention to bring attention to our breath in our body, moment by moment. And if you're comfortable allowing the eyes to close, feel free to go ahead and do that. And if you're not comfortable with the eyes closed, just allowing the eyes to maybe rest on or focus on a spot on the floor. Just gently, soft gaze at a spot on the floor so that the eyes aren't just looking all over the room. So either eyes closed or just softly gazing at a spot on the floor. Just as we've worked with in the past, just perhaps beginning by directing the attention to the sensations of the breath. Just noticing the sensations of the full duration of the in-breath, the full duration of the out breath. Maybe just noticing where in the body you feel the sensations of the breath. Maybe the belly expanding and contracting, the chest moving with the in-breath and the out-breath. Maybe just the air at the throat or the nostrils. Just directing the attention with full care and attention to each breath. Anytime that the mind is wandered and there's some awareness that some distraction has occurred or there's thinking about something that's other than the breath, just notice that that's what the mind has done, no big deal. And then just gently redirect the attention back to the full duration of the in-breath, full duration of the out-breath. If you care to, perhaps even seeing if it's possible to notice the beginning of the in-breath, the transition to the out-breath, the pause that occurs at the end of the out-breath, and then the beginning of the next in-breath. Not manipulating or changing the breath in any way. Just bringing attention to each individual breath. Again, if you care to, bringing attention now to the whole body, just sitting, not thinking about the body, just bringing awareness and attention to whatever sensations may be present to be felt in the whole body, just sitting here. Remembering that at any time, if bringing attention to the body in any way seems too much, just redirecting the attention back to the breath. Anytime, Again, that there's some awareness that the mind has wandered and that the attention is no longer on the body. Just notice what is on the mind. Maybe there's some remembering or some planning or some other kind of thinking going on. And just notice that that's happened. And then just gently redirect the attention back to the awareness of the whole body, just sitting. Perhaps including in awareness both the awareness of the body and the awareness of the breath at the same time. Noticing that it's possible for this capacity of mindful awareness to include both the breath and the body. Again, if you'd like to, at this time, perhaps including in awareness now sensations of contact. Perhaps noticing the sensations of the feeling of the feet on the floor or the seat on the cushion, or the sensations of the back against the chair, touch of wherever the hands may be resting, just bringing attention to sensations of contact. And just noticing what's present in those sensations, temperature, pressure, tingling or throbbing, or no particular sensation at all. And including awareness of any sensations that may be particularly present in the body. And maybe beginning to notice the quality of that sensation. Is it pleasant or unpleasant, or just neutral? Is it a mild sensation or a little bit more of an intense sensation? Does the sensation change? Does it get stronger and then fade away? Does it appear and disappear? Or does it just stay the same? But just bringing awareness to whatever sensations are present in the body, moment by moment, just noticing the qualities of this sensation. Just remembering that any time that the mind wanders, which it will, just noticing that some thinking or distraction has occurred. Just gently returning the attention again back to the breath or back to particular sensations of contact or other sensations that may be particularly present in the body. For this next period of the practice, seeing if it's possible, as best as you're able, to sit in stillness, even if it's just for a few moments. And in sitting in stillness, there might be sensations or experiences that become a bit more intense. We're quite conditioned when we encounter sensations that begin to feel uncomfortable or unpleasant or more intense. We're quite conditioned to want to recoil from those sensations, to want to get rid of them, to start thinking a lot about them. But for this period of the practice, if any particular sensations come that feel a bit intense or uncomfortable, even just for a moment, see if it's possible to just notice, oh, in this moment, discomfort is here. In this moment, this is unpleasant. Knowing at any time you can always redirect the attention back to the breath. And for this next period of practice, if any particular sensations of intensity are present, even just for a moment, directing the attention to those sensations of intensity, and then seeing if it's possible to just soften and relax. And then just see what happens. Sitting in stillness as best as possible, knowing you can move and adjust at any time that feels right and wise for you. This is always a practice of wisdom and self-care. If any experiences or sensations begin to feel a bit intense or uncomfortable or unpleasant, see if it's also possible to notice whether or not any thinking begins to occur. Oftentimes when we encounter what's unpleasant or uncomfortable, we react to want to get away from it. And then we often begin to think quite a bit about the experience. I don't like this. How long is this going to last? Is this going to hurt me? And we begin to add a whole lot of thinking to the experience. So again, for this period of practice, just see if it's possible to just notice the difference between just the sensation in the body and any thinking that may also occur. See if it's possible to notice the difference between just the sensation and our thinking about it. So with this type of practice, bringing awareness moment by moment to whatever sensations are present, including any that are unpleasant or uncomfortable. What we're learning is how to relate to even the unpleasant and the uncomfortable in ways that are different than our normal habits of how we typically react when things are unpleasant or uncomfortable, how we typically react out of habit when things feel intense. So even just for a moment in this practice, any sensations feel particularly intense, any experience becomes particularly intense, just noticing that, letting it be uncomfortable or unpleasant, and just seeing if it's possible to just soften and relax. Knowing at any time it's possible to just redirect the attention back to the breath. So this practice is a continuation of getting more in tune, getting more in touch with ourselves, as we've talked about before, working with bringing awareness with care and kindness to both the pleasant and the unpleasant aspects of life. Perhaps finding a way to soften and relax, even when we feel some kind of habits of reactivity. So for the last few minutes of this practice, just letting go of all of that and redirecting the attention again back to just the full duration of the in-breath and the full duration of the out-breath. Just returning the attention again, full care and attention to just the awareness of the breath. Being aware of this breath and this breath. And this breath. Perhaps taking a few moments to congratulate yourselves for having taken this time to continue to learn and develop the skills of mindful, caring awareness for your own health and well-being. And when you're ready, and in your own time, if you've had the eyes closed, allowing the eyes to open. Perhaps beginning to move again, feet and the fingers, hands and the arms, bringing some movement back to the body. Just keep checking in to see what the consequences are of having directed attention in this way. So I wanted to.
Everybody has a clipboard. We're going to pass out the written inquiry part. Raise your hand if you need a pen. And we'll take some time to fill this out individually. Take your time to answer the questions. When you're done, you can put the clipboard on the floor and then we'll be able to keep track of how everybody's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my fault. Yeah, I was telling Laura, I'm trying to think ahead, get ready for the next 2 weeks, so I lost a lot of this, so. Yeah, it'll be fine. Well, we could just tell them. Just make sure that they understand that this is for tonight.
Oh, yeah, sure. We just noticed that on your sheet, the second question is, has a question about the gentle stretching or yoga practice, but we didn't do that tonight.
Yeah.
So,
That's a
so you
mistake.
made something up. It's
Took
so
the
you don't have to
implication
write
that it's
anything.
breathing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
it was
answer
supposed
that.
to be about what did you notice in the body in the sitting practice tonight? So rethink about question number 2 in terms of what happened in the body tonight while you were sitting with these particular instructions, particularly the instructions to just even explore for a moment what it felt like to just be in stillness.
I didn't even read the question, all that, the way I just answered based on what
Just thinking about
was
tonight.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, just like we've done before. Yeah,
Good.
exactly.